Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Please comment, rate, subscribe, folks. Comment, rate, subscribe, like the videos. Also, share the videos. I want to thank you, folks, for liking, watching, and sharing my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen, folks, there's a link tree down below. Has links to all of my social media platforms. Please go down there. Follow me across all my social media platforms and talk to me because I talk back. Also on there as well as links to all of my YouTube pages. Please go down there, subscribe to all my YouTube pages, and turn on your notifications so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Now, with that said and done and put to the side, I've come to talk to you folks today about the New York Jets free agency game plan. Oh boy, oh boy. The time is around the corner, okay? Legal tampering starts Monday. And Joe Douglas and this Jets front office has got to be ready to go out there and attack. Okay, they cannot be trying just sleepwalking through this whole situation. Ooh, you zombies! No, you've got to be ready because this team needs some help at certain spots, and they've got to attack. So I want to start here. Okay, Connor Hughes actually put out something today. And it was a report, and he was talking about, what the New York Jets could possibly do and how they can handle the situation in free agency. Now, keep in mind, okay, again, legal tampering starts Monday, and the New York Jets have crucial holes at certain positions. And I think it is vital that they utilize free agency to shore up some of these issues before we get to the draft, because we know the Jets don't have a second round pick in this year's draft. They don't, okay? But they've got a first, they got a third, they got some fourths, they got some sixths. So we have some capital, but not having that second round pick could hurt us. So we got to make sure that we're set up in a position to where we could snatch a guy from a spot that we need and get a young man in here, and he can, be able to move forward with us with all of the expectations that we have coming in this upcoming year. We all know this, okay? Aaron Rodgers is back, fully healthy. We've got to find a way to keep him that way as well, and we're going to be talking about that too. So, with all of that being said, Connor Hughes comes out, okay, today, and he says this: the Jets won't sleep their way through the opening days of free agency. They're going to be playing in the same tier Douglas has since taking over. He'll look at the guard market because the value is there. He'll look at the safety market because the value is there. He'll certainly add a backup quarterback, but when it comes to high-profile players like Tyron Smith and receiver Calvin Ridley, Douglas will not go above a number he believes works for the Jets. Hold on. He'll gladly watch another team make that mistake in a bidding war. Comparison: the Giants gave an absurd contract to Kenny Golladay, 4 years, $72 million. That didn't work out for them. While Douglas landed Corey Davis, 3 years, $37.5 million. Okay, and Corey was here for some time. He was all right for us. He did have an issue with drops. He was often injured though, and he actually retired before coming into this past season. So here's the deal. Okay, with all that's on the line right now, and we know what's on the line, okay, if the New York Jets don't take care of business, there's going to be some heads rolling after this season. There's a lot of talk that if the Jets don't make the playoffs, the fan base will erupt and will absolutely start to call for Woody Johnson to make a move. I'm not just talking about moving on from Robert Saleh. There's talks that Jets fans want to see Joe Douglas fired as well. Now, there's a time to be conservative. Okay, there's absolutely a time to be conservative, but with all that's on the line, you got to look at the situation. You got to say to yourself, there's also a time to make bold moves wisely. Okay, make bold moves wisely. Okay. Now, with that said, I do not want to see Joe Douglas, just spin like a drunken sailor. I don't want to see that. But for certain guys that he covets, he's got to make sure that he closes those deals. You can't keep going into situations. I remember last free agency, there was a lot of guys that we almost, and this has been something that has happened in a couple free agencies where we've almost landed certain guys, and we were right there. We've got to be able to close the door on those deals and get it done, okay? Now, when you look at the situation and the holes on the New York Jets roster, I believe, okay, that the Jets have to come out of this free agency period with the answer at guard and an answer at one of the tackle spots, okay? He has to have those because that will set us up for the draft, where we know more than likely, in my mind already, I know at least, we're going to be taking an offensive lineman, and it's probably going to be a tackle because this tackle class is phenomenal. Okay, can't miss. A lot of guys in this tackle class is like, hey, grab them and they'll be ready to go. So we're sitting at 10 currently, and I'm thinking to myself, more than likely we're going to be grabbing a tackle. So you must address this offensive line. Now, with that being said, I'm just talking before I start talking about the guys I want, that were not here that I want to bring into the building. Of course, guys that we got to re-sign. There's some guys that I think that are vital, right? Zerline, Morstead, vital. Bring them back. No questions asked. Get a solid deal done with them. Have them back into the building. Bryce Huff is a guy that I want to see brought back into this building. I'm going to say it again. Bryce Huff is a guy I want to see brought back into this building. I believe that he is an integral piece to this New York Jets defense going forward if we're truly talking about, winning a Super Bowl. But we'll see what happens with his situation. He has not been tagged. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't been tagged. He's going to test free agency. And I know that market's going to get crazy behind him. The Eagles are already supposedly hot on him. There's a lot of other teams that are going to be knocking at his doorstep. The safety position. I've been a big proponent of bringing Jordan Whitehead back into the building. I thought he played very solidly for us. I would like to see him in a Jets uniform this next season, but if he is not, there are other options there at safety. One of them is Jordan Poyer. Man, the Bills have taken a chainsaw to that defense. They got rid of a lot of guys. Poyer, Tre'Davious White, they are moving on from a lot of guys, okay? I think Poyer would be a solid option to be brought into the New York Jets facility as well. I think he would give us some quality safety play. So those are just some of the thoughts, right? Guys that we could re-sign and brought in. Now, if we're talking about outside, I think the vital position to fix here and make sure you're said and done is the offensive line position, and it starts with the guard position, okay? Listen, Robert Hunt is one of the guys that I think the New York Jets should absolutely target. Now, the Dolphins are another team that have gotten rid of quite a bit of players as well, and he's one of them. Robert Hunt's really good. You got to get him in here. You got to find a way to continue to keep Aaron Rodgers upright and healthy. Don't go into the season and get him blasted. Because if he's done for the season, we're done. And then Joe Douglas and this front office might be done as well, okay? If you can't get him, Kevin Zeitler from the Ravens, quality offensive lineman, veteran guy, bring him into the building. And another guy that I think is kind of a dark horse that people aren't talking about there at guard that could be a quality addition for the New York Jets, Graham Glasgow. Graham Glasgow is a guy I think that Joe Douglas could be interested in. Another veteran offensive lineman. He has some versatility. He can play guard. He can play center. And he's been a solid, guy on that Lions line. So those are my guard selections, guys that I'm looking at that I would love to see the New York Jets bring in. Now going to tackle. Listen, I've been screaming this guy's name since our season was over. Mike Onwenu needs to be in a New York Jets uniform. For the love of all that is good, please get this guy in the building, okay? First off, he can go out there, he can play tackle, right tackle will be solid, he would shore that up, okay? But he also has versatility because he's played along the offensive line, okay? He's flashed at tackle, but you can bring him in and play some guard too. So for whatever reason, if you need him to move from tackle, he can do that. So that versatility will be valued here with the New York Jets. Now, if you can't bring Winu into the building, I do not think the Jets are going to end up with Tyron Smith. I think that guy is going to get paid out the wazoo. And I just got a feeling that Joe Douglas is not going to do that. And there's also a lot of concerns about his injury history and things like that. Concerns with myself, especially these past 2 seasons with him. But Trent Brown would be a guy that I would be interested in bringing in, especially if it's a deal that works for the Jets. I think he would be able to come in here and be solid for the New York Jets here. Solid at tackle for us. And that would set us up again to go into the draft and be ready to go. Wide receiver, I've talked about this, man. Courtland Sutton is a guy I think the New York Jets need to make a move for, okay? Listen, trade the capital, bring this guy into the building, and you got your number 2 wide receiver. That's said and done. But Tyler Boyd is also a free agent that I would like to see brought into the building if they're not interested in making a move for Sutton. Tyler Boyd would be a quality signing here for the New York Jets to help, up our wide receiving core. So comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. What are your thoughts about what Connor Hughes wrote about the Jets, not trying to break the bank on certain guys, not wanting to get too involved in crazy bidding wars. Do you think that that's the way to go? Do you think that playing it kind of the more conservative role that Joe Douglas has been willing to play, do you think that's smart going into a season with such big expectations? Give me your thoughts. I want to hear from y'all, all right? Also, what is a guard or a tackle or wide receiver that you'd like to see the New York Jets bring into the building? Comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. You folks have a good one. Peace.